Just a small note before we begin. Spoiler warning, adult language. I've heard that YouTube has like an algorithm that will flag or demonetize a video if you swear in the first like fucking 60 seconds, 30 seconds, some shit like that. My channel isn't like monetized anyway, so I really don't fucking care. But I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I don't know, just tried to test that shit out and see if I release a video with some foul language and see how, I don't know, how fucking good is this algorithm? How good is the AI or whatever fucking method they use to pick up adult language and just, I don't know, just test the fucking thing out. Anyways, onto the video. Hello, horror freaks. Horror Man Mike here, and summer has always been my favorite season, and I've noticed that a lot of the movies that I happen to really enjoy take place in the summertime or have the season as a backdrop for the events that take place in the film. So, stepping away from Sequels Don't Suck just for a bit, I'd like to highlight some of my favorite films that take place during my favorite season. If you took the movie Alien and set it underwater, you lifted a couple of ideas from Jaws and pasted it like a Friday the 13th body count film. If you took all of those elements and you threw it in a blender and you pureed it and poured it out, the film that you would have at the end of the day would be Sean Cunningham's Deep Star 6. This movie was released in 1988, and although it's not quite as famous as Sean Cunningham's other films like House or Friday the 13th, it's a gem. It's not quite a hidden gem. It's got its own niche fan base. Of the very few people I know that have seen this movie, they've all really liked it, but I still think that Deep Star 6 just hasn't gotten the mainstream kind of love that I think it deserves. This movie was not written by Sean Cunningham, but he did produce and direct it, so it's got his DNA well entwined in there. The music was handled by Harry Manfredini, which is a name that has popped up on this channel before, and I'm sure I will be mentioning him again in future videos. The cast is honestly kind of blah and forgettable, with the exception of Miguel Ferrer. He has some really great line reads, and his character is sarcastic and stressed out to all hell, which leads to some funny situations and lines. Maybe intentionally funny, maybe unintentionally funny, I'm not really sure. But he is the most interesting actor and character in this film. The rest of the cast is kind of a blend of like Friday the 13th characters and Alien characters. The crew of the underwater station known as Deep Star 6 are either scientific researchers or military personnel, maybe a blend of both. They're on the deep sea floor for some reason, using sonar to discover and map out undersea caverns and construct nuclear warheads on them. I don't know. I rewatched this movie last week, and I'm still not entirely sure what their mission is. Something scientific research, something nuclear missiles. Anyways, they discover a new unmapped cavern and decide to detonate some explosives near it. Again, I'm not really clear on what their mission parameters are, and at times I don't even think the actors know what their characters are supposed to be doing, which is kind of campy and just adds to the charm of this movie. When they detonate the explosives and collapse the cavern, they awaken something from the deep. It proceeds to just harass them for the rest of the movie. There are several deaths that ensue, but not everybody is killed by the creature, which is kind of interesting. This movie does have a body count and a monster, but there's actually very tiny overlap between the two. A number of people die from accidents and happenstances. One guy gets his back broken when a porthole lands on his spine. One person gets an air compression dart in his back and it blows his chest out. One character panics and goes to the surface too fast. I haven't seen that many decompression chamber deaths on film, and this one is memorable and slightly uncomfortable to watch. The movie hides what the creature looks like for most of the runtime, but I kind of wish we got to see more. We get glimpses of it at the finale, but I feel like the movie doesn't really do that many lingering shots for the audience to really take in what a masterpiece of a sea monster they made for this film. And honestly, I feel like that's kind of a shame. Overall, Deep Star 6 is not a perfect film, which is fine because I don't think they were trying to go for a perfect film when they made it. They were just going for an entertaining summer monster movie. And on that note, they succeeded. If you haven't seen it before, give it a watch if you can find it. If you have seen it, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I haven't known very many people to see this movie, but those that do generally favor it. That does it for me. That does it for Deep Star 6. Please leave a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you feel it warrants it. That does it for me. That does it for Deep Star 6. I am Horror Man Mike, and I will see you in the next video.